Thank you, Joel. We'll speak to you a little later. For now, let's get on with the business of the coffee chat. And joining me this morning, Aviwe Mtila. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Victor. Good morning.
I think we have a stranger next to us.
Good morning to you too.
You're back.
Yes. Good to be back. Good to be back.
Now, gentlemen, this is one story that I think is probably going to have the country talking a lot more this morning. Enoch Mbianzi, that's on the front page of the Star. Their headline there, Enoch school found negligent. And just below that, it's the principal and 5 staff members, including the camp, that are cited for negligent behavior. What does the rest of the article say? I mean, it was unbelievable as the contents of this report were read out. Yes, sir.
Certainly was. It talks to a lot of falsifying information that went to the Department of Education, both from the school side as well as the camp, because I understand the camp also falsified how deep the actual river was. So this will bring some sort of closure to the family. But the question is, for me, Putwali, what will then happen going forward? How will the 5 staff members, including the principal as well as the camp itself, what consequences are they to face? Because we're talking about a death of a young learner here.
Jeff, on that very same score, should the Gauteng Education MEC be talking about having referred all these people that are seen to be responsible?
Look, for
prosecution.
For me, it's very simple. This very tragic case should be an example to the Education Department nationally, not just in Gauteng, of standard practices should be upgraded where preferred candidates and preferred eventing companies should be looked at so that we can avoid these types of misinformation that has certainly come to the fore, which has seemingly led to this very tragic death of this young child. For me, it's very important that schools everywhere need to adopt preferred standards of applying for these types of events, and it needs to be a lot more secure as far as the actual venues that they go to, and it should be approved by the Department of Education.
I don't know if any of you gentlemen were watching as closely as I was yesterday, because at the time, just before, because remember this report was meant to be tabled right at the same time as the parents who were in the room, but there was an objection to the media being there, and there was a whole drama that the media needed to be kicked out.
Certainly.
So for me, though, what stood out when the report was eventually released publicly by the MEC, the comments of the SGB that the image of the school matters more than a person who has died.
I remember MEC Panyaza Lusufi even saying that in the discussions they had with the SGB, one of the parents raised that Enoch was essentially there for 2 days, I understand, versus the many years that the school has been there. I mean, that is absolutely not tolerable.
That's absolute nonsense.
It is.
Jeff, let's move on to the front page of the Business Day, because this story is actually going to get us all worked up. COSATU tones down its plans for Eskom. I just opened my intro there with COSATU, and I don't know if the Trade Union Federation has had a change of heart, because remember when the talk was that Eskom is going to be split into 3 components, they came up and said, actually, we're not sure that we're on the same page with you, Mr. President, because if what we think is happening here is that you are unbundling Eskom in order to privatize it, then we're sorry, sir. We're rejecting your plans.
I distinctly remember that conversation with the COSATU representative.
Yesterday, they told Parliament that whatever monies, and of course we know that it's pension monies that are spoken about, go into Eskom, they are going to be committed to ensuring that whatever monies are pumped into Eskom are in line with investor mandates.
That, for me, is the open question. What exactly is the meaning of investor mandates. Does that refer, that doesn't give us any indication of the time span, the percentage of the global amount of investments that are available to tap into. Firstly, I have to say that I am with an assortment of people that I've bumped into that are running scared as far as this plan of COSATU's to rescue Eskom is concerned. And I'm talking about people that are very far from retirement age and people that are already retired that are gravely concerned about this particular rescue plan of COSATU. So for me, there's aside from the concern of people that are very worried about the money that they are relying on for their retirement and old age and old day, there are people that are very concerned about why wouldn't it be better to look at systematic or the systems within Eskom and streamline those rather as part of a long-term rescue plan instead of just throwing more money at this malfunctioning SOE.
Mr. Mtila, you yesterday were at the Black Business Council meeting that is taking place, and Eskom was very much on the lips of the people, the speakers, in particular the president.
Yes, of course. President Sandile Zungu of the Black Business Council are still in support of coal. You'd assume that because a lot of those people procure coal, I mean, essentially deliver coal, they have business within the coal sector, it's a no-brainer that they would be in support of coal, no matter the impact it has on the environment. But just this COSATU situation in its own, it shows the desperation we are in, the economic crisis that we're in, because essentially what it means is that while government has to tighten its belt, all of it, we also have to tighten ours. It'll be felt by the person on the ground. Essentially, because of what we've seen previously happen and all the corruption, now we're going to have to foot the bill for it. Even with this public wage bill, which I'm not sure if COSATU will also tone down on it, essentially that'll mean that the person on the ground, the civil servant on the ground, will tighten its belt for all the maladministration that we've seen over the years.
Yeah. Jeff, quickly take us through the sports pages.
Yes, so what caught my eye this morning, there's obviously the cricket that people are celebrating and excited about, the ladies in a semi-final at the T20 World Cup. But the Sowetan Sport features Custer, poised for new Olympic run, and she's obviously in training and preparing for the Tokyo Games. At this stage, she's not able to defend her titles that she currently owns, pending the outcome of her investigation by the IAAF regarding testosterone regulations, which prevents her from running in the 800. The Tokyo Games scheduled to start July the 24th. That might be under threat regarding the coronavirus. So she might have even more time to give us more detail. I think it's imminent. Yeah. She was not at pains yesterday to indicate which race she is preparing for and which one she's hoping to qualify for the Tokyo Games. But it would be one of the longer ones, 3,000 or 5,000 or even 10,000 or even the marathon. Watch this space and we'll know soon enough what Custer is preparing for as far as qualification for the Tokyo Games is concerned.
Yeah, it's important that that decision comes through so that she knows where she stands.
For sure.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Mr. Mtila, thanks indeed.